All right, welcome to the new producer portal. So if you're new to the program, this is the only portal that you've seen, but if you've been in the program before, then this rolled out in July of 2025, something that we've worked on for about a year now. And so when you log in, and it'll be the same username that you've been using, and you'll have a password that's generated and sent to you. And once you log in, you'll land here, and you'll have two options. You can either go into the Crew Connect function to connect with other producers and crew, or you can go into the Producer Program section. And so the Crew Connect feature is fairly similar as last time, and we'll have a different video on that. But it's where you can search for people's skills and interests, and then generate a PDF, and then contact them. But what is new is that we do have a new crew call function where you can submit and see people's crew calls from this page. So if we go back, also on this landing page, we will have reminders posted here. So just make sure that you check this, even if you're coming and going a lot through the portal, making reservations and shows and stuff. Please check this out. Just remind yourself to read it because it will have a holiday closure or an upcoming season and things like that. And then from here, you can go into the producer program, and this is where it's only available to you if you are an active producer, whether that's at the content level, which is free, or you're paying monthly or yearly for access to the resources as well, or you're on scholarship, or you are a creative careers graduate within that year access that you get. And so from here, you've got projects and reservations, a studio calendar, your producer information, and helpful resources for the producer program. And then you also, on every page, have a footer that has our email and phone number that goes to our coordinator here at Austin Public, and then also our address and website. So the projects and reservations page is where you will be doing most of your work, and you have a direct link to see all of your past, current, and future shows, your past and current series, your past, current, and future reservations, and to create a new project. Everything is based off of projects, right? That is the umbrella object that allows you to then make reservations, series, and shows. So you would come in here, select which one you want to make a show for, or submit a series for, or make a reservation for. So we'll have other training videos on that dive a little deeper on those things. And so from here, let me go back home, go back into the producer program. All right, studio calendar. So if I click on that, it's very similar to the last calendar that we had. It's where you can see what physical space is being reserved at Austin Public. So Studio 1, 2, and 3, the edit bays in the edit lab, conference room, and audio suite. And so you can scroll through and you can see color-coded what rooms are booked and when. So if you're looking for a gap, say in Studio 1, which this week is not a great week because we have our summer series, but as you go into the future, you'll see things become a little bit more available. So I would know that on this Tuesday, Studio 1's available. And then just make sure you're looking at the operating hours. So don't just assume that because there's a gap here, it's available. Make sure you're checking those times and when we do open. Okay, so going back home, back into the producer program. Then you've got your producer info, and this is going to be all information that you've shared with us in the past through our intake form. So you've got your producer information here, your producer status, your producer type, your join date, and your renewal date. So this is when your next payment will happen. So if you're a monthly subscriber to the producer program, then this is going to show a month out or less, whenever that next renewal date is. If you are a yearly, then this will be probably several months out, and just know that that is the date that your payment will renew. When you signed up for those subscriptions, it is an automatic renewal, so reach out to us if you ever need to cancel that. And then this is your Crew Connect information. And so we've got, did you want to be contacted by them? This will determine whether or not this information is public to other producers. And then it would have your email or your phone number. It'll have your demo link and all of your information here about your preferred interests, and then your skill levels here. And what's new is that we've got 3 different skill levels for the studios. And so now we can see, you know, you can search for people and their skill levels based on their studio skills. And then you've got your certifications here. And so I've got a ton of them. I've been around for 17 years, but so a lot of these are not in use anymore, but you probably see, you know, at least one. You've got media policy, and then you might have a few others. And what's new is that you can click on this link and you can see what you get within that certification. So this is the cameras section. So if you took the intro to the FX line class, then this is what you get access to for cameras: Blackmagic, Red Komodo. All right, and then this is gear available with any camera certification. So this is where you see all your monitors and accessories and stuff. So if I clicked on, let's see, intro to field audio, then this would give me everything that I have access to through the intro class. And then down below here is the intermediate class. So these are all of the larger boards. So that's useful. That's new. It's very similar to our resources page, but it's just broken down by certification type. And then we've got our classes. So you can see all the classes that you have taken in the past or have upcoming, and your attendance here as well is listed. If you are on an equipment payment plan, so that would be if something broke in your reservation and we put you on a payment plan, then this would say true. This would have the payment details on sort of how much and when, and then the payment end date. And then there would also be a link here to the payment page to make those payments. So that's also new. And then lastly on this page, if you ever want to update this Crew Connect information, let's say your skills grow. Let's say I started to learn Studio 3 better and I'm like, hey, now I'm a 4. Then I can click this link and fill out the form to update my Crew Connect information. And so you'll just fill this out. It's very similar to the original one. Update any skills that you want to give us, and then you'll hit submit, and then the majority of that stuff will automatically update. So just be aware of that. It'll automatically update, and then there's a few things that we go through and just double check, like your email and your phone number and stuff. All right, so that's the producer info page. Again, let me go back home, go back into the producer program. And then we've got helpful resources. So this takes you to the watch page on our website. This takes you onto the video on demand on our website. This takes you to the full list of Austin Public resources on our website. Producer Program FAQ takes you to the Become a Producer page. And then training videos and other resources on our website, upcoming classes, the Austin Public Facebook, and then the Filmmaker FAQ. So I'm going to jump into a couple of these. The video on demand is our playback, part of our playback system. And so you could watch the live streams from here directly, 11, 10, 11, 16. And then you'll see the different categories that we populate, we create based on the information that you're sending us. And so if you want to go up here to the top, you can click on playlists and see a full list of all the different playlists that we have. And again, this is based on the data that you're giving us when you upload a file, and we populate it into these categories here and rotate things out based on our server storage amounts. So they get rotated out every few months. All right, so that's the video on demand. Full list of Austin Public resources is a pretty common page that you go to. So that's just a list of all of our gear. Producer Program FAQ. You may not go back to this page often once you're in the program, but it is on our Become a Producer page. And it's where you can see information sort of all in one place. So again, this is information if you need information about the scholarship. But again, you've been through this page, you've joined the program, but just a reminder that at the bottom there is a FAQ section that has a lot of the typical questions we get. So if you want to look through that, but you're always welcome to reach out and email us. And then we've got training videos and other resources. So this is also from our website. So we've got a link to all of our different program documents. So if you need our policies and procedures, the warranties agreement, media policy handout, orientation handout, how to upload a file, those are all linked here. We don't require production insurance, but if you're looking for resources, then this is a link to some different companies and other resources. Austin Film Commission resources also. I've directly linked to some of those. And then we've got training videos on a lot of stuff in our studios on this page as well. So that is the training videos. Upcoming class list takes us to the website. Austin Public Facebook page, if you are on Facebook and you want to be a part of that community. And then Filmmaker FAQ is also on our website in a different area under Artist Development. And this is going to be talk about other AFS programs that we have for filmmakers, employment, not necessarily with AFS, but just in general, studios, also not directly related to Austin Public, but in general. So that's also a good resource. So this is the helpful resources page. And so now when we jump up to the top here, we'll finish with this. So there is a direct link to this page here for the helpful resources. There is direct links to the watch page, the channel 10, 11, 16 schedule, and then the video on demand. A direct link to our classes and events page. And then Crew Connect has a direct link, and then Home takes you back to that landing page again where I started. So this one here, I'll finish up with your producer info. We've already been there, but that's where the link is there. You can see your projects. Again, this is where you're going to be doing most of your work within the portal. That's where you're going to be making new reservations, new shows, new series. And then you can see your current past shows, current past series, current future, present reservations, and then the studio calendar is there as well. So that is an overview of the producer portal, and look out for the next rounds of videos that are doing a deeper dive into each one of these pages.